Welcome to the Method 2.0 with yours truly, Peter Kalos. How are you guys? I want to talk about something. This is not our last class. This is our last class live on a Thursday night. This started quite a few weeks ago when we had the lab and then everything fell apart because of the coronavirus. So what happened is I got together with a couple of people here and we said, hey, let's do something online just, to stop ourselves from going crazy. But now next week, the lab opens up again. So I'll be teaching on a Thursday night, 7 to 11. Most nights I teach. So we have to find out a new time to do it. I don't know when. I have a couple of ideas because of my own schedule. I also have to talk to these lovely people. There's 4 people here that help with this. I have to talk about their schedule. I have to talk about where we're all at. And I'll let you guys all know. I do want to continue. I think we've created a nice vibe here. And it's a first for me teaching online. I'm a people person. I like to get together and see someone and talk to them. So we'll get to all that stuff when we get to it. Always, as I start, I want you guys to remember why we do not just this, why you do anything with acting, classes, scenes, whatever. Stella Adler, an amazing teacher, right? And we're going to read something she said today, right? She said, it's not good enough to know something. It's not good enough to understand something. You have to master it. And that's where we're at. I tell most people, you with your acting, it's not good enough to know this intellectually. I think this is our 12th class. And most of you have some information up here about acting. That's not fermenting the process. So most of you know this intellectually. Most of you are aware of the information. To master it is the rest of our acting life. And at the end of the day, it's your acting career, and you have to start being responsible for it. So you have to start holding yourself accountable when you're not working. You have to start holding yourself responsible when you're not doing enough to balance mastering the art, knowing the art, and being able to have in the body. And also, that's one aspect of our work, to get your ass out there and work. Get your ass out there, get involved in a film, in a play, in something. Because it's not good to do all this, but not get out there and expose yourself. You know what I'm saying? We are not here to be the observer. We are not here to be the person, watching someone else do it. We're here to be in the middle of the ring, and you're better off getting out there and failing again and again and mastering and getting better than sitting back, observing and commenting and becoming a critic. That's not what we want. We want to be it. We want to be doing it. Okay? So once again, as I always say, structure your life, take control of your own discipline, and start having a schedule and a place that you can work at. Okay? I can't say that enough. That's ultimately why we're here, right? Today, we're going to talk about, by the way I envision this online class is we'll always have a little speech like now, then we'll always do relaxation. We'll always do sensory work, and also part with sensory work like we're going to do today, there'll be some other exercise. Like, a couple of weeks ago we did the drunk exercise, but then we did something else like whatever it was, makeup, whatever. And then after that, I'd like to, I usually read an article about something. And then towards the tail end of it, I'd like to communicate with you guys. I'd like you to show me your show reels or show me a monologue or read something. When we started this 12 weeks ago, I asked you all to start writing something, a short story, something. And I'd love to see you. I'll ask maybe towards the end. I'll say, guys, next 5 minutes, quickly tell me, have you done a story? Do you have anything down in writing? What are you going to work on? So we actually start holding each other accountable for it. I'll also like to blend it with pre-recorded stuff. So you can go watch and say, hey, here's the exercise, do it, knock yourself out. And then since I'll be teaching, I teach Monday to Thursday, so that's most of the week. Maybe I'll have the camera in class. So if there's any, I'm going to talk to the students, of course. If there's any scene in class that we're doing, you guys can follow it and see the commentary. But that's a lot of other business to take care of, meaning, do we have a camera? Do we have this? Do we need permission from the actors? All that kind of stuff. Can you hear us? Anyway, that's all stuff I have to address with a whole group of people here. Tonight, we're going to start doing relaxation very, very soon. Okay. What else are we going to do? Wait. We're going to do relaxation. Then we're going to do a sensory exercise. Be aware, sensory exercises are this. They are just us taking certain skills and trying stuff. Stella Adler used to make you do things like, pretend to be a monkey living in a cage, pretend to be a monkey being in the jungle, you know what I'm saying? And then she'd have other people pretending to be a monkey. So how do you what's the word, work with each other, stuff like that. But it was never for show and tell. It was never to perform. It was never to entertain. It was done for you to learn certain skills, right? So we do certain exercises here to say, great, let's apply these skills, which we're doing one today, okay? Then after that, I'm going to talk briefly about an amazing director, right, called David Fincher, and why the industry over there in America is quite different from over here. And then we're going to talk about character work, which is a massive, 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 and possibly the most underused tool as actors. Everyone talks character work. Doing it is night and day. And then if you've got any show rules or whatever, I'll try and spend as much time as I can on them. I try and cut it by about 9 o'clock because these lovely people have to go home. Okay. Thank you also for putting up with the technical stuff. We've had like 20 different cameras, literally, you know what I'm saying? We've had all things go wrong, but that's part of the world and we just got to get through it, okay? So now, really quickly before I continue, someone sent me an article about David Fincher. He directed The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and a bunch of other stuff. Find him. He's working on a film right now, and I forgot what it's called. It's called, I'll find it really quickly, hang on for a sec. It's called Mank, okay? And the actress's name is Amanda Seyfried. Now, here's the deal. They did one scene for 200 takes. When I tell that to people, a lot of people go, well, they have money. And it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with what we started this conversation with, which what Stella said. It's not good enough to know things. You have to master them. It's not good enough to just do what's on the page. Guy gets to a class, person does a speech, whatever. How do you show that anyway, but then spend time doing things with slight variations to get more of the writer's message across? Not with a result in mind. And I tell you guys, as actors, it's your job. It's your work. So sometimes you have to fight for it. By fighting for it, I mean creatively. When you feel like things aren't going right, that's your obligation to say, hey, to the director, this isn't working. This isn't going right. What can we do? How can we do this? Can we try right? Can we try left? Can we try this? Can we try this? Not to impress, not to entertain, to find a different level of truth to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you turn up, and what happens is, for the most part, they get what they want. They got the lines from A to Z. They got the scene, come in, sit down, drink your water, leave. And they go, yep, good enough. And good enough is good enough. That's the point. Why would you spend 200 takes? Every one of these takes would have a different, they're searching for some kind of different reality to it. Not every take can be and should be 200 takes. Please understand, that's not what we're saying. We're saying, but if you're not getting what you want in your take, and you've hired a good actor, and you've got a good director, and the script is good, then it's what they call in LA, we're fermenting the work. We've got one to get the information out. Now let's see what else we can find with it. And that takes a body, an athlete's body, or lack of a better word, an actor's body, because you burn out. It also takes skill in terms of you're not going to mimic 200 times the same shit you do, because that's mimicking. That's what we call neck up. I want you, as I say, every single time we do this work, to rediscover it. Every time you do something, rediscover the chair, rediscover the glass of water as you drink, which I'm about to. You got me? I'm not mimicking what I did before. Mimicking is death for an actor. Rediscovering is how you need to think, right? So Let's start with what we always talk about, relaxation. We're going to spend 10 minutes, not even that. Okay? If you're joining us for the first time, just go through with it. All right? Now, let's talk about one thing. What's that word that parents do? Don't do as I say, do whatever it is. Don't do as I do as I say, something like that's it. Don't do as I do. You're talking to a lovely man here who spent 3 amazing years with Stella Adler, and I think 6, 7, 8 years, I don't even remember how many years, I know it was over 5, at the Lee Strasberg Institute. And I was lazy in the sense of sometimes you'd go to class and they'd have 5 or 6, or not 5 or 6, what am I saying? There'd be 20, 30, people in the class. And sometimes the class was so small, there was no room to punch out to the side. You had to literally look at someone's head. But this was me. And right now you're at home doing this exercise. And I tell people you got 2 choices. Well, you got 3. One is you can not do it. Just sit there watching me. The second one is you can bullshit yourself. And this is the hard thing to do. Or you can do it properly. By bullshitting yourself, what you're going to do is sit in your chair and just go, I hate this shit, I'll just do it. And you're going to check your phone while you're doing it. And you're going to sit there watching it. And you're going to go, oh, come on, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the information. That's where most actors live. You're shortchanging yourself. I tell people it's your career. As you heard me say last week, a friend of mine works at the Actor Studio, and I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago. She sees all these amazing people there all the time, consistently. Barry Primus, Mickey Rourke, all the time. They got careers, so when they sit their ass in the chair, they do the work. So when you find yourself bullshitting to yourself, literally grab yourself by the throat and say, why am I doing this? Am I in love with the ideal of acting, or do I actually want to do the work? And if you're just bullshitting yourself, don't, or quit. Those are the 2 choices, right? But don't. It's too much. You've invested too much of your life in this. So when we sit in the chair to do relaxation, don't bulldoze yourself through it, because then that becomes the habit. You bulldoze, or you do your work at 60% or at 50% with the idea that when I get the big audition from Marty Scorsese, I'll do 100%. And I keep telling people, no, this is your habit now. Your habit's not going to change. So start now. Start with everything we do today and everything you do from now on to do it 100%. You got me? 100. I remember someone told me that Lee Strasberg used to say, if you want to give 100%, give 110. If you want to give 90, give 100. If you want to give 80%, give 90%. If you want to give 70%, stay home. And he's right. So when we work together from now on, everything you need to do 100%. You got me? You need to find your potential. You need to find your breaking point. You need to push yourself and master what's right, and then work on your deficiencies. They don't go away. We see them as actors. We see them as directors. We see them as casting agents. Your deficiencies as an actor will haunt you. So the only way to get to them is to deal with them and to work them. So if attention is one of those issues, when you sit in your chair, focus. So now we're going to do relaxation. I'll go in a bit of an angle. I don't care what you start with. We usually start with the hand. Today we'll start with your head, for instance, right? Sit in the chair. Those of you that know what you're doing, knock yourself out, okay? If you're relatively new, start with this. Just sit in the chair, relax the body, make a sound, just exhale. And remember, I want you not to think relaxation, I want you to think awareness. I want you to feel your body, just the chest rise and collapse, just feel the vibration. Feel your chest rise. Bring the mind here. Bring the mind here. As I've been saying every week for a dozen weeks now, right? This is like a chef. You're just preparing your ingredients now. These are the tools of the actor. It's like a musical instrument. We're just tuning it. Make a sound. Whenever you're ready, rotate your head. I don't care what direction you're going. And it doesn't have to be all the way around. All right? If you feel any pain, work around it. Make a sound as you work. If there's people in your house right now and they ask you, hey, where's this, just say over there and leave me alone. All right? Everyone seems to bother you when you're doing acting work, but when you're doing other work, no one bothers you. So learn to respect your own work and say, no, I can't work now. Leave me alone. Rotate your neck, make a sound. Rotate to the left. Rotate to the right. Relax, relax. Feel those muscles. Right now, you should be much more aware of all this stuff here. Okay? Fair enough? Let's do the spine now. And I'm just picking body parts, whatever. I just ate. So depending on where you're at in life and what's going on in your own life, different things will feed you. Right now, my stomach is full. I just ate. So, take it easy over there. Now turn to the left. Don't do this. Don't force it. Just turn to the left. Relax all the shoulders. Turn your head. If you got back problems, work around it, or don't do it at all. Work on the ground if you have to. Turn to the right. Make a sound as you work. Remember, think like a pendulum. Your focus is 15, 20 seconds at best. The moment you swing out, bring it back. So as you're doing all this stuff, whatever it is you're doing, the moment you tune out, bring it back to what the body feels like physically. Make a sound as you work. We did the spine. Let's do one of the bigger body moves. Open your legs, drop your arms in between your legs, and very, very slowly crumble the body forward. Imagine someone's holding your shoulders, so this drops down. I've got a mic right here, so I've got to be aware to some degree, plus I just ate, so I'm not going to go down very far, but just drop the body down, just as far as you can. Also, once you're down there, rotate your neck, because the muscles hang differently. You got me? And then very, very slowly come back up, make a sound as you work. Also, whenever you feel nauseous or anything like that, just open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's usually this taking off and messing with you, all right? So rock down, right there, rotate your neck, right there, and relax. Whenever you're ready, take your arms now. Imagine you're going to punch forward, right? Like I said, the old days, they used to do this, ha, 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 with an explosive sound. Go for it right now. Ha, 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 ha. And then whenever you're ready, out to the side, feel this open up. I've seen people in LA do this, by the way. They go, as they rotate the spine. There's nothing wrong with that if you want to do that. But right now, feel the chest first before. See, my thing is, I want you to do all the original motions first, so you pick up certain points. And I'll give you an example. If you do this and then this, it forces you to take in that one subtle step of feeling the chest open first before you can move. But if you go straight into this, you bypass that level and you get to that other level over there. Marty Landau, an amazing actor, used to say, don't go from A to Z. You're going to go from A to B to C to D before you get to Z. Same as this. You'll eventually get there. But do this first. So whenever you're ready, ha, 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 ha. Feel the weight of your body. You got me? Okay? Now, we'll do 2 more moves so we can get going. Pick up your leg. This one here. Shift your body weight around. Pick up your leg and rotate it. But relax everything else. It should look like this. What happened? I just zoomed in. If we hear this, somewhere you're holding on. So just pick it up and rotate it. But your main focus in this, make sure this leg is loose. Don't anchor it to the ground. And one way to test all your moves, I tell people when you finish, the moment you drop it, if you feel tension there, relax it. If you finish one move and the body goes, that means you were holding on during the move. So when you finish the move, if you get that awareness, do the move again with less, there we go. Relax. Make a sound as you work. We've done it for 10 minutes, not even that. In LA, they do it for an hour. Start with the discipline of doing it for half an hour. 3 times a week. Come on, folks, that's an hour and a half a week. It's not going to kill you, right? Before we finish this, don't be the kind of person that goes, well, I've already moved the arm. The second time you do the same move, I want you to see if you can last longer. See if you can get a deeper awareness of it. That's what this whole thing is about. So as you do this and you get a deeper awareness, you get deeper into it, and your mind, you'll find, actually stays with you longer. That is a discipline, we'll call it relaxation, that you cannot catch up. You can't go from lifting 200 pounds to 500 pounds. I'm making these numbers up. I don't know shit about a gym. Do you know what I'm saying? But you can't grow at that level overnight. This is a slow burn. This is slow growth. This takes time. It's the one thing that you will regret. Relaxation, if you don't do it, if you don't master it. Remember Stella, master everything, right? So you need to do it. By the way, every now and then you'll see me checking my phone. And the reason why I check, all right, is because there's people telling me stuff like, hey, something's not working or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So make a sound as you work. Now, we're going to try one exercise. And as I said before, a lot of these exercises are just things we put together, and they teach you certain skills, okay? This will take about 20, 30 minutes, I don't know. Let's see this, here we go. You can sit down for this, you can lie down for this, whatever you do it. I want you to just sit there now. And I want you to wiggle one of your toes, whichever one it is for you. Mine's the right one. It's okay to take your shoes off. And a lot of this, before I continue, has to do with what Stella Adler used to call imagination. You got me? Acting is, what's his name said this? Meisner. Responding to imaginary stimulus. This is a big part of what we do. And before we continue, I get a lot of people doing this. Well, I won't do it now, but when I'm in front of the camera, I'll be amazing. Once again, if you can't do it now in the comfort of your own living room or in the comfort of a class, you will not do it on a film set because the pressure is insane and you haven't conditioned your body to work and you won't get there. You think you'll jump this high, but you won't. So this is why we do all this shit, right? We're not just wasting our time. So one of your legs, one of your feet, I want you to imagine that a worm crawled into it, just under the nail. It's about an inch long, 2 centimeters for wherever country you live in, and pretty small, pretty skinny. But he crawled in. Now, to do all this, get as specific as you can. Like I'm actually going to take my shoe off because he feeds me. And it's okay to do that. Remember, with acting, do whatever you need to. If taking your shoes off feeds you, that's what you need to do. And I want you to imagine that this thing here just crawled inside your toe. And not only crawled in, because your toe, you can see it. Look at it. There it is. It just crawled under your big toe, right under the nail there. Not only that, I want you to feel it now. There's a sense of it right there. You feel 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 it, and you feel it kind of moving. It's got, let's give it 10 legs on each side, and it's got a beak in the front. I want you to feel it grabbing and pulling itself in. Don't act. Feel it right there, right there. And there it is. Look at your toe. And it just went in. I want you to see the tail of it going in. You didn't have a chance to grab it, but there it is. So now this is where we talk about imagination. If that happened, what could have happened? Would your left foot start to get swollen? It's there. It's called acting, folks. Go with it. Your job is to believe it, not to act it. Right now, there's a worm. There it is. It's just moving right now. It kind of circled, and it just sat there. And it's right underneath your large nail. When you press your foot down, like so, Add a little pain right there. Oof, right there, I feel it. There it is. Oops. As you sit down right now, you see it and you feel it kind of going inside your toe. And right now, on the count of 3, 2, 1, you just lost it. The last tail of it is gone. You feel it crawling up your leg, up your leg. You feel it crawling through the muscles, up your leg. And right now, it's around your ankle. And for some reason, it starts to get warm. It's warm. And now as you see it, all of a sudden, I want you to look at your right foot and the left one, and the right one looks swollen. It looks quite swollen compared to the left one, and it's red. We'll make it red. Seems to be the theme here. Look at this place, right? So it's red and it's swollen, it's right there. And the thing is sitting around your ankle, right there. If you get up, see, we do things to test it. If you get up, stand on your good leg, you feel okay. I want you to try standing on the other leg, but you can't. Oh, you feel the fucking worm right there. You can't, right there. Right there. So now it's in your ankle. Very, very slowly now, I want you to feel it climbing inside the calf of your leg right there, right there. You feel the legs of it scratching, scratching, scratching. It comes up, and for some stupid reason, it's sitting right under your kneecap. Ooh, it's right under your kneecap. Oh, oh, sit down. Oh. Let's try something. I want you to bend your kneecap and see if you feel it differently. Right there, you feel it kind of stretching. And he just moved really quickly and swerved up again. It curled up again. Ah, but there it is. Right there. Whew. Oh. Okay, now it's here. And now, ooh, it's on the outside of your leg, right here. And let's imagine right here, can you see me right there? Let's put it at the front. I want you to feel a bulge right there. You actually feel it right there. There it is. You feel it. It's there. It's standing still as you touch it, and it starts to burn a bit. Oh, make it burn right there. The skin is tight. Ooh. And it's tight right there, and it starts to move again. You've just realized that it's actually now digging deeper in your skin. And it moves a bit faster right now, moves a bit faster, right about here. Right there, put it right there. Look, oof. Ooh, let's pause for a moment now. Until now, we have what we call skin and bone and fat. Skin, bone, fat, nothing much else. Now we have organs. This is different. Remember, Stella used to talk about heightening your choices. This, compared to this, is heightened. This is more dangerous than this. This is more dangerous than this. Heightened choices. That's what acting is about. Right now, it's inside your intestines. And you feel it moving around. Feel it moving. The skill, I don't want to say trick, I keep using the word trick inappropriately. The skill is to make it specific. Let's make it 10 fingers long now. It's grown to about 20 centimeters. There you go. And for the next count of 5, I want you to imagine that it's swimming around your intestines, round and round. 5, 4, it's moving quite fast. 3, another circle, 2, another circle, 3, 1, another circle, and it just stopped. Oh, now it's got 20 legs on each side, 20 little crawly things, and it's biting. I want you to feel the bite now. Feel the bite, make it specific. Feel the bite, make it very, very specific. Feel the bite, make it very specific right there. Ooh, ooh, oh. Oh, right there, just grab. It just grabbed really hard right there. Oh, while I pause, while you leave it there, part of the skill to this is not to do constant pain. That doesn't work. You got to go pain neutral. That's how pain works. Pain neutral. So go pain, 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 really sharp, and then the body relaxes for a bit. Pain, 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 grab, 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 bite, bite, bite. Oh, and then the body relaxes a bit. It got warm now. Now, for whatever reason, it's heating up. Imagine it's pulsating. Ooh, shit right there. I want you to squeeze on the left-hand side of your belly button, and you can feel it. Now, here's what's going to happen to you. Once again, we're talking about skill here. You're going to push right here, and you're going to feel something, a muscle, whatever it is for you, right? And then you're going to imagine that that's it, right there. I feel it right there. That's the fucking worm, right there. Ooh, right there. Right there. Try and squeeze the fucking thing, right there. Squeeze it. Right there, right there. It's gone. It's moving again. It's moving. It's moving. It's moving. Oh, it just latched itself right here. Right there, it just latched itself. Not did it latch itself. We've all seen Alien. It literally is wrapping itself around the back of your spine and clogging one of the fucking bones right there. Oh, you can't move. Oh, can't move, can't move. Oh, and now what I want you to do, you let go, and all of a sudden it comes back to the front again. Here it is. I want you to put your finger in your belly button, and you feel the head right there. Right there. Oh, and whenever you're ready, you get one chance to do this now. On the count of 3, I want you to see if you can grab the head and slowly pull it out. Okay? 3, 2, 1, grab it, slowly start to pull it out. Slowly start, slowly start, slowly start, slowly start, slowly, slowly. It's like growing, it's growing. Slowly start, and bang, it just went back in. You lost it. Now it's fucking angry. It's twisting around now. It's biting. Oh, now it's in your stomach. Oh, and it loves your stomach. You just ate. Oh, but it's settled. It's settled for a bit, but it's there. Breathe. I want you to feel it breathing right there. Ooh. Oh, right there. You feel it? You feel it? Right there. Make it crawl up. Make it crawl up. Make it crawl up. I want you to feel now the claws of it slowly jumping out of your stomach and climbing up your esophagus. But it's grabbing. And the way you make it grab, pick one side and it grabs a little harder. It grabs a little harder. It grabs a little harder. It just, one of its feet or whatever the fuck it's got, just locked into your esophagus and it ripped out. Oh, feel that. It's like a beast rip. It just ripped off right there. As you inhale, I want you to feel the air pass that. It's like, sometimes when you swallow a bone, you feel it. That's the same as this. You feel the bone. You feel the leg that got stuck there. And now as it crawls up, feel that sense of heat, and it goes inside your lung. It's right there. You're feeding it air. As you breathe, it's breathing. As you breathe, it's breathing. You feel it. Not only you feel it, it's your lungs. I want you now to smell it. With every time you exhale, it smells. It could be whatever the fuck smell you like. You have direct connection to it now. The air goes straight to its head right there. You're feeding it oxygen. If you squeeze this, you will feel it. And now, oh my God, it's actually, you feel it. It's crawling on your heart. Ooh. It's crawling on your heart. At the count of 5, what it's going to do is start to eat through your heart for a count of 5, and then it's going to burrow in there. Okay? Ready? I want you to make it specific. Don't act, make it specific. There's a massive difference between the two. And we're ready at 5, 4. It's burrowing, biting through. Feel the ripping this flesh, ripping the flesh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it just logged itself in there. Oh. Now I'm just adding things as I go on, but because it's blocking part of the heart, let's make this left arm a bit loose. You're not getting as much blood as you like. Ooh. It's very, very uncomfortable in there because the heart's moving. So it doesn't enjoy it, so it's struggling to get out. But I want you to feel it bouncing around. There's heat. Oh, oh. At the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it just slipped out. It just slipped out. It's slowly falling down, but it holds on again. Oh, feel the crawl. Feel the crawl. It's crawling. It's crawling. It's crawling. It's crawling. It's at the back of your throat now. If there's a mirror there, imagine there is. If there isn't, I want you to open your mouth and see it in the back of your throat. Fuck, I'm gagging already. You can see it. It's bright green. You see it. If you could get to it, oh my God, I'm actually fucking gagging. It's there. Make it specific. And you hope that it just comes out. But it doesn't. I want you to open your mouth and look at it. Open your mouth one more time and look at the tail end of it. And it's actually crawling up. And now it's inside the back of your skull right here. Feel the pressure. Feel the pressure. Feel the pressure. Oh, feel the pressure. And now it's about 30 centimeters long or a foot. It's actually burrowing inside your brain. And I want you to try something now. I want you to lean forward and feel the weight of it. Like, you know, when you've got paper mache or something that's wet and heavy, as you tilt your head forward, it's going to go right there. You feel the weight of it. There's extra juices from it. Slowly tilt your head to the back and feel the weight of it. Do this. Right there. Slowly tilt your head to the left and feel it sit right there. And for the next 4 or 5 breaths, I want you to do nothing but smell it. Oh, smell it. It's moving again. It's moving. It's moving. You feel it. Your head is leaning to the left because now it's getting quite big. And I want you to go up to the mirror again and open your left eye and look at it. You can see it in your eye. And when you're ready, I want you to open your eye. And at the count of 3, I want you to grab it and we'll pull it out for a count of 10. Got me? It's got to be 10, but. And your job is to make it specific. I want you to feel all the claws come out of your eyeball. I want you to feel the head, the body, and the tail. I'll dictate it. I'll say head, body, tail. So at a count of 3, we're going to grab it, and we're going to count down from 10. You ready? 1, 2, 3, get it? And 10, 9, there's the head. 8, 7, 6, there's the body, 5, 4, 4, 4. Keep pulling it, keep pulling it. It burns a bit. Keep pulling it with the other finger. 4, 3, 2, there's the tail, and out it comes. Put it on the ground and step on it. Step on the fucking thing. There you go. Oh. It's a very simple exercise. It's nothing. We used to do this in class for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just living with it. We can't do this for 2 hours online. You'll get bored. Do this at home. Why? If you notice, you weren't acting. You were believing. To some degree, I feed you specifics, and that's what you need to learn to do as an actor. You feel the leg, you feel the thing, and right now, look how amazing this is. I guarantee you right now, if I all said to you, take a breath, remember we left the leg inside the esophagus? Take a breath and feel it right now. It's still there. We feel it. Our job as actors is to trick this into believing. That's what we did as kids. You played whatever you did and you believed it. We believe that there's a little foot of this thing, a little claw stuck in our esophagus, and every time you breathe, you feel it. I've done this where the worm eats 20% of your body. So what's missing? What's limp? Great for character work. 20% of your body's gone because the fucking worm ate it. Right? I've done it where you pull it out of your eye, your mouth, ear, whatever. Skills. You have to understand why we do this stuff. It's not all about doing exercises that connect to grandma and crying. Some of it is purely a skill to make believe. Do this once a week. Once a week. Worm, leg, up. Okay? There are parts of it that I've added and blended. That's the lovely name of this lovely course, Method 2.0. But the skills are the same for everything, because we can do this with so many other things, right? What it forces you is, when you're on a film set, learn to make things specific, and I'll talk to you about this. We're now going to talk about character work, and it was actually a good feed through because of the worm. I said, 20% character work. I'm going to read something to you guys. There is no one better. I don't care who's around these days, yours truly included. There is no one better that teaches character work than Stella. The woman was amazing for character work, right? Brilliant. I'm going to read something to you guys, and I want you to hear it. I might as well sit down. Why not? I just want you to hear this, and we'll start work on this very soon. It is the most underused tool as an actor. Please understand this. The most underused. Most of you play yourselves, bottom line. Let's talk. First and foremost, when you get a job, read the text of the play to determine what ideas the playwright wants to give to the world. You need to understand it. It's the playwright's message. It's the playwright's decision to write a story about a blue couch. There's a blue couch right there. That's the material. Your job is not to do anything but express that in the most truthful way you can, in the most honest way you can. You got me? And the better you get at this, you add different layers to it, but you don't steer away from that message. That's the message of the script. So you got to read the script again and again to get it. Nowadays, keep in mind this was written quite a few years ago, so we've come a long way backwards since then. We really have. Nowadays, we have a rather trivial idea of the theater. We also have the stinkiest audience in the world. We don't know who the actors are. They certainly don't know who the playwrights are. But when a great playwright sat down to write their plays, their intention wasn't just to amuse an ignorant audience. Remember I said to you she was brutal? She was brutal. She just called an ignorant audience, and she's right. We have, right? Oh, shut up. The theater was a platform to address the world, and the actor the means, right? Remember this. The theater was a platform to address the world, and the actor the means. Stella Adler used to say that the script is the bone, and you are the muscle. You got me? That's the script, you are the muscle. You're the way the message comes out. So you matter. I want you to get out of your head that you are just on a set to be told what to do. That's not a career, that's horseshit. I can get anyone from downstairs. I want your ideas. As an industry, we need actors' ideas. You got me? Right? You work with them. The words with them. You know what I'm saying? With great directors and all that stuff. And we're not saying ignore the words. Without the words, you have nothing. But most actors, and the way they work, and here's the issue. I'll keep reading, by the way. Let me finish reading. We'll get back to it. Right? The theater was a platform to discover the world, and the actor the means. The actor must discover the ideas the playwright wants to reveal through his character. That's what we're talking about now, through character, right? Although the play may be set in a particular locale, it's meant to reach the world. The reason I constantly stress that you must have size on stage is because that's what the playwright requires to convey his ideas. The more vivid you can make this character, the more interesting and far-reaching his ideas will be. That's massive. She used to say that the theater is heightened, or the stage is heightened, because the audience is here to see an elevated moment. Not in show and tell elevated, in what's going on elevated. So if your work is down here, there's no reason for them to come off the street. All your choices must be elevated, especially internally, not show and tell. Most people, and I argue with this a lot, I argue with directors, casting agents, you know, look, if it was just the words, David Fincher wouldn't sit there doing 200 scenes. He's already got the fucking words. Stella used to say, if all you're doing is the words, I may as well stay home. I can stay home and read a play. I got the words. But it's how you express that message that makes your work matter. We're not saying don't do the words. We're saying do service to the words through the actions and show it. At Stella's class especially, and I know they work like this at the Actor Studio, you get the script, you do it, now you spend months or a long time researching and developing the character. And then you find the words. For the most part, in today's cookie cutter mentality, what we focus on is the words. Okay, here's a script, you have your lines down, and then we start going off the lines. We say, no, we know what the lines will be about. As we said a few weeks ago, it's not about the lines. The character knows what they don't know what they're gonna say, but it's about doing. It's the action that matters. You know what I'm saying? So Stella would have you do the scene without the lines. And then she'd say, find the lines. You got me? Okay? That's massive. So I want you now let's talk about character work. Let's assume you are made up of 100 ingredients. I'm using number 100 because we can talk percentages, right? There's 100 different colors or variations of you. There's Peter the nice guy, we'll call Peter the nice guy. You're nice, you're kind, you're this, you're that. You've got 100 different ingredients. So when you think character work, right, think of it as I've got 100 ingredients. Got me? That's you. These are the ingredients you're going to use. One thing that does my head in, well, a lot too, but this is particular, you hear a lot of actors, not actors, or well, actors do this too, directors or casting agents or whatever. They say, just be yourself. So now the poor actor goes, what the fuck does that mean? Just be myself. Okay, I'll just be myself. What does that mean? Just be yourself. And they say, do nothing, just be yourself. And you go, okay, I'll just be myself. I'll just say the lines like this, which all I'm doing is observing the way I say the lines. I don't think I'm going to go be myself. So what I tell people is read the script first on your own, so you find out and you understand what the script is about. And then read it again. This time, I want you to keep the character in mind. I'll give you a very simple example. We all have parents, and if you don't, you get the topic. If you had your mom read the script and your dad read the script, they would pick out different things from it because they're different people. They would see the world. They would connect to different things. So if you read it as yourself first and then go, oh, wow, my character is a dictator, and I'm just being very broad here. Then when you read the script, keeping not the idea, not the stereotype of a dictator, we'll get to that, but keeping that in mind, different things will talk to you. I remember I once directed a play with a wonderful guy named Darren Mort and a bunch of actors, Will, Justin, Michelle, great actors, Angels in America. And my darling wife came to see the play. My wife happens to be an accountant. And I was sitting behind her because, you know, she had her friends and stuff, and I just kind of snuck in the back there. And she laughed the first time she came on her own. And I heard her laughing at a part of the play. And no one else laughed. And I was like, fuck, why did she laugh? And it was a good, hearty laugh. So I had a hunch as to why she laughed. So I said to her, next time you come to the play, bring a friend of yours. And she brought a friend over. And I knew that the friend was also an accountant. They're in that world. And sure enough, and I sat really close to them this time around, when that moment came about, they were the only two in the audience laughing. And I thought, why are they laughing? And I remember I actually went to the script. There was a line in there, a beat and a moment, and I'm sure I could find it if I looked for it, where they talk about a tax deduction. They laughed because they're accountants, and that came up to them. A different character would pick up different things. You understand me? Character. Same exact action. The action is the audience member sits there watching a play. This character happens to be an accountant. This character happens to be a banana, whatever the fuck they want to be. So they connect to different things. So if you read the script at the beginning as you, and then you read it with your character in mind, don't do what most actors do. They start writing their lines, highlighting the lines. These are my lines, because now you're just focused on the words. I want you to read the script in mind as the character, the accountant, and go, wow, I see it from a different perspective. Not your eyes, the character's eyes. So then I tell people, great, you've got 100 ingredients that are you. These are the 100 ingredients that make up Peter, right? Automatically, as we said last week, don't bring sand to the beach. What ingredients from you can you, this is why they say talent is in the choices. What ingredients from you can you marry to this character? And I want you all, and I actually came up with this, thus the method 2.0, there we go. All right. I want you all to think of your character as this. They have a public life, they have a private life, and they have a secret life. All of us have those three things. The public life is me doing this. I'm public now, right? The private life is when I get home tonight, it'll be me, my wife, you know, whatever. That's private. And I also want you at a third layer, what's your character's secret life? We all have a secret life that we take to our deathbed. All of us. You hear about it in the news. And don't just go for negative. Such and such did this. No, it's not all negative. It could be amazing, positive things. Really quickly, and I know I tend to go off on tangents and share stories with you, but there's a reason why I'm sharing them with you, right? You got to keep it on time. I was at a theater once, and there was this older woman. I must have been 20. By older, she was probably 40, right? Because, you know, when you're 20, that's older. And she used to work at this place. And I'm not going to say what the place is because people know it. It's in LA. So they have a 2 o'clock bar. All the bars close at 2 o'clock in LA. So it was about 2:15, and me and a couple of friends knew how to break into this theater because they had a back window open. So we kind of crawled up the building, and that's where we used to hang out. We used to go there, get a few drinks, and just hang out and daydream, being young actors. One day we're sitting there. It's about 2:30 in the morning now. And I want you to understand, I may have shared this story with you before, but this really was the reason why I'm sharing it with you. This secretary from downstairs looked like the most conservative, middle of the road person. And all of a sudden we're sitting there and she turns up. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, but she used to live there. And she was in her nightgown and she let her hair down. And out of nowhere, this woman starts doing not good, fucking amazing Shakespearean monologues. Blah, 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 blah. And I remember her banging her heart and she's doing it was Medea and she's doing the blah, blah, blah. And we were like, holy fuck. We were kind of hidden in the back, quite drunk. Probably didn't happen, but the point is this, that moment she exposed her secret life. And I can only assume and guess that at one stage she must have wanted to be an actress. It never happened for her. She works at this place. She lives at this place, that little apartment upstairs. So when she got her chance, she went downstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning and did amazing monologues. That made her connect to the art again. Private, secret life, not private. Because if it was private, she'd have 3 or 4 friends there, hey, let's do this. But that was a secret life. So I want you all, and everyone keeps telling me to write a book. Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Probably not. So do this on your own. This is my thing. Just remember where you got it from. By the way, remind me to tell you later about the podcast. We have to do this before today, right? Yeah, remind me like hell. Anyway, so I want you to have a public life and a private life and a secret life. And as someone expressed it to me once, and I know I've shared this before, they say you can undress in front of your doctor and undress in front of your lover, and you undress differently. Unless your doctor is your lover, that's different. But it's different sides of you come out. So I want you to allocate which side of you belongs in their private life, which side of you belongs in their private life, and if needed, but put it anyway, what side of you is their secret life. And take your ingredients. Now, here's how you find your ingredients. And without being sarcastic or without being an asshole, the other day some actor called me up and they were so excited because they went to an acting school and they learned what their type is. And I said, who gives a shit what your type is? What does that mean? I learned this is my type. Yeah, big shit. Our job as actors is to do all the types. Now, I'm not saying that certain types don't come easier, but that type is going to get you in the door. You know what I'm saying? They're going to cast me for what I look like, this. But it doesn't mean, this is what makes careers, that you can also do this and this. It might take more work. But stop limiting yourself to a certain type. By that, they mean they see certain colors of you. And I'm saying you better know what colors belong in this character. Because now they say, you're this type. Let's call it, you can play the acting teacher, the creative acting teacher. And you go, great, I can play the acting teacher. And I go, great, motherfucker. You spent all this money. Do you know how to play the acting teacher? This is what you do. So if I have someone tell you this, you're the type, what a fucking waste of your time. I want you to understand you've got, let's call it 100 colors. Which ingredients come out in you? So now, and it's not therapy. We're not saying go become a therapist or anything. We're saying you know yourself enough. We're adults here. We're not talking to 5-year-old kids here, right? Little Jimmy, be a cowboy, right? We're just saying, no. what sides of you. One way to do this is to add what I call where your situation is. Because if you're in a cathedral or in a library or a bar, different sides of you come out. So decide, if you were here right now and a certain person like my wife or my kids were here, and each one of them feeds me differently, I've got 3 kids, which one of them would bring out certain colors? Automatically, you would start to find what we call an automatic filter of you, right? And I'll give you an example, and I know you've all been through this at one stage, and this happens to me a lot. You'll walk down the streets and you'll see someone and they remind you of your best friend. And you're about to go, oh my God, how are you? Good to see you. And then you realize, shit, it's not my best friend. But that side of you came out, the loving, warming friend side, because you reminded you, your mind tricked you. And this other poor person was like, what the hell are you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? But that's what it did. It triggered that side of you to come out. If we say right now we're going to go to a library, different sides of you to come out. If we say we're going to go to a funeral, different sides of you come out. You could do the whole scene, the whole play, like you're actually in a funeral state of mind. So start to allocate which aspects of you. Let's call it a filter. Is it the family filter? Is it talking to your brother filter? Is it talking to your mother filter? So every time you do this aspect of this character, what we call the public aspect of them, I want you to think, oh, wait, there's a connection lost. Wait there, something says lost. Guys, it says something, connection lost. Are we okay still? Am I still okay? It says connection lost. Am I still on?
You still on? I'm looking
at okay. Okay, we're good. Sorry to pause you there. It just said connection lost, and I lost it, but I guess we're here. Anyway, yep, I guess we're good. Anyway, so I want you to start using an automatic filter and saying that these ingredients, when I do the characters, let's call it public life, I will think that my oldest son is imaginary next to me. A quick filter, right? When I do the characters private life, they're at home. I could imagine it's me sitting down there right now with my wife, right there. And certain colors that may come out. And when I'm here, it's that aspect of me. And right now, please understand, all we've done is taken the 100 ingredients that are us as Peter and allocated them. I could only use 20 of those. I could use 80 of those. And if you use 80% of you, that's where a director goes, oh my God, you're right for the role. But you need to know what aspects of you. Otherwise, you're just kind of going in the wind and going, well, today I feel like this, tomorrow I feel like this. And they go, what happened to what you did the other day? Well, yeah. I want you to know what aspects of you were in play. Because one day you were feeling good and the other day you were feeling like shit. You're still yourself. You got me? So you need to marry that. If you want to write it on your script, knock yourself out. But writing it on your script is like me playing football by watching it. You have to find it in the body. You got me? And that's just using our ingredients. Let's assume, and there's a good chance you don't have this, there's other ingredients for that character that you don't have. Now, if you've gone through something, like I'm a parent, I don't have to pretend to be a parent. I have to find out what aspects of being a parent I want to keep. But if you're not a parent, then you have to find what ingredients of you can be parallel to be a parent. What I mean by that is this. Someone said to me, a grain of coffee is good as a mountain of coffee, meaning we need the ingredient. So if you're a parent, if you're not a parent, but you've got a puppy dog and you love the puppy dog, that's what you need. You with me, right? So it's closer to home if you've already experienced something, but you don't have to go out and kill grandmother if you're playing a murderer. That's the misconception with our work, because we get misconstrued. There's a lot of amazing actors that haven't lived through anything. They haven't gone through a hard time. And they're making, someone says, oh, you got to be tough and you've got to have lived your life and you're going to be starving. That's horseshit. There's some very comfortable actors making a shitload of money, living in amazing mansions, have got a great life. You don't have to do it. Does it help? Different story, but you can do it without it. So what I want you guys to do is start using your ingredients first. and allocate. Now, the ingredients that you don't have, because there's a lot of ingredients that we don't have, there's a good chance you either know someone that does, or you have some sense of that. So let's assume, look, I've got a couple of friends of mine that are real estate agents, and I couldn't think of anything worse. Okay, it's just not me. But I know they dress a certain way. Do you know what I'm saying? They have a certain talk. All right, they think a certain way. I don't have that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't mimic being a real estate agent. It's not me. What I could sell you is other stuff, or I could find that same need. So I have to find that parallel thing. Here's what I want you to understand now. The internal thing is you. I internally couldn't give a shit about selling you real estate. If I internally, as Peter, want to get a message across to you, I have a passion for that as an actor. So internally in you is you. How it comes out is the character. You understand me? So if this character gets excited by selling real estate and I don't, I could act all day. It's what we call neck up. The camera will see it, trust me. But if internally I'm thinking, hey, I want you to understand this message as an actor, and I do it externally as a real estate agent, you marry the internal with the external, you've got amazing character work. That's where most actors, by most I mean 90%, fail. They do all the external stuff. You go there, the wardrobe department dresses you up as a real estate agent or as a king, and you go, look, I'm a real estate agent. And then you start playing what Stella used to call the attitude of something. And when you play the attitude of something, you can spot that a mile away. I don't want you to play the attitude of anything. I want you to sell real estate externally. Internally, you can sell whatever you like. The internal is you, the external is the character. And the other thing is now, Stella used to say that the character is revealed through the action. And she was right. The script says the character walks in. Here we go, I'm the character. And they sit down in the chair and they're about to watch TV. That's the action. And most directors would say, okay, we'll put the camera there. There's the chair. They're worried about the look and all that stuff. We as actors want to watch TV. So now we say, great. This is, let's make him, I don't know, we'll pick something, all right? I don't know, a chair maker, a cabinet maker, right? Let's make them whatever they are, right? Accountants again, we'll go back to accounting. How does that character sit down? Where did they come from? Do they take their shoes off or not? Do they take their jacket off and lay it over the chair? Do they throw it on the counter? Do they just, I have a jacket somewhere, do they just leave it on? Do they sit like this? 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 Guess whose choice that is? Yours. I want you, and once again, please understand this, and I hope directors are watching this. I want you to understand this. It's our work collectively. Your job is to put the camera where you like. Our job is to sit where we like. That's what makes you an actor. And I got a lot of directors say, yeah, but it's my film. No, it's our film. Please understand that. Because if you had an amazing actor here like Robert De Niro or Al Pacino, and they said, I want to sit on the ground, you'd say, of course, Mr. Pacino, sit on the ground. But if you have an unknown like Peter sitting on the ground, you go, can you please sit on the chin? You go, no, motherfucker, my character was sitting on the ground. He's my interpretation of that character. That's why you hired me. But then you need to be able to defend it. To say, you know, see this, it happened because his mom was messy or his dad was or whatever. You need to find the ammunition in the script. Always respect the writer. So, but how you show it is your job. It's your career. I want you to understand that. So it's not intellectual. And the way they do that is the way they do everything. I am not dirty, but I'm very messy. My desk looks like shit. My wife's desk is immaculate. She's got calendars and all the pencils are there and all this shit's there. I take pens and write. I take something from that desk and eventually I put it back, but it's on my desk somewhere. That's just me. So what's your character? Are they this? Do they drink with a straw? How far do they sit? I'm still doing the same action. Character. So let's go back because early on I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So now I've allocated my ingredients of me to this character, the public, the private, the secret life. Now we say, what's missing? And if you don't have it, who does? I want you to find real people that have those ingredients. I want you to go to your real estate friends and go, hey, let's get to know your world. As I've said in the past, most of us, 90% of us, now please understand this, and I've heard the same excuse, well, that's how they work here. Well, we don't have enough time and money. No, that's your career, right? I want you to get out of your bedroom and find these people. It's not good enough to learn the lines and start memorizing the lines and think anger and sadness and I'll do it like a real estate agent. You got to go literally become one. And we don't have time to become fully one, but you have not time to get the basic stuff, the ingredients. Doctor, lawyer, accountant, whatever they do for a living. I want you to know something above the layperson, not intellectually, to actually live it. So you find their body. You find their aches and pains. Every job has its aches and pains. Every job has its aches and pains. And then you marry them to the body. And if you need to go out there, you have that person, let's call them the real estate person, all right? Different qualities of you will come out. That's why De Niro, when he did Taxi Driver, went to become a cab driver. You know what I'm saying? As I've said in the past, when Sean Penn did Harvey Milk, he actually went to Harvey Milk, where he grew up, what he did. That's your job. Otherwise, you're always playing you and you're indicating. And most of your indicating is what you see on TV. Because if you've never been around a soldier or you've never been around an Italian mobster, I guarantee you 9.9 out of 10 actors, guy actors here in Melbourne, if I said do an Italian mobster, they'd start imitating Brando, Bob, whatever. And say, have you met any? No. So then we're just copying other people's work. What's the point of that shit? But then I also tell people, do you have an uncle that could be? They go, yeah, right away, that uncle. I go, well, that's your Italian mobster or whatever it is for you. Do you understand me? So we're not taking from TV, we're taking from the real world, from the real world. And then I say, what makes that person that? What makes, I can throw different ideas at you. Which relative do you have that could be a mobster? Which relative do you have that could be a rabbi? Which rabbi do you have that could be a science engineer? Which rabbi do you have the best, that would make a best therapy? You know by gut feeling. But now, remember the character work? They all have 100% of different ingredients. There's something about their ingredients that spells to you that lawyer. There's something about their ingredients that spells rabbi. There's something about their ingredients that spells scientist. Our job is to know exactly what that ingredient is and find it in ourselves and marry it to our character. So now when you read the script again, you see it through the character's eyes. I know, as I've said before, I think I've shared this with you, I know De Niro, when he finds like he's playing a character, he does a shitload of research. He'll read books. He'll interview people. He'll actually take people out. I remember when he did, what's it called? King of Comedy. And he played Rupert Pumpkin, where he was obsessed with the Jerry Lewis character. At that time, Bob had someone who was fascinated by him. He was a stalker. And he bought he had invited over the stalker, he found him, and had dinner with him because he wanted to get in his head. And he asked him, what's the first thing you think of when you wake up? He would go to prison and talk to people and say to them, what's the first thing you think of when you wake up? Do you think of money? Do you think of sex? Do you think of power? food, depending on the circumstances, safety. If you're a soldier and you fall asleep when you're in the battle zone, you think of safety. So what's the first thing? What's the first ingredient of your character? Money, love. These chemicals, these mixtures are what we play with. Most of us play the attitude. I want you to find these ingredients, marry you to them, and marry external people to them. So now I'm here, I'm thinking Peter when he's alone at home, but I'm also marrying certain aspects of my best friend, whatever. That's character work. And now all you've done is found the ingredients. You now have to master them so well that you go out on the street with all those ingredients and get away with it. You're gonna fly below the radar. No one walks around going, look at me, look at me. You hide it. That's the biggest problem with our acting industry. Most actors do show and tell. Great actors hide it, which gets misinterpreted as do nothing. They do a shitload, but they sit on it and they hide it. It's what Paul Newman said, who was one of us. He was a method actor. He said there's a lot of hard work behind these pretty blue eyes. Sorry, I'm coughing. You understand me, folks? This is the work, and there's no shortcut to it. At the same time, it's a lot of fun. The fun is in, I think De Niro once said, you can play a serial killer without killing anyone and get away with it. This is a big part of why we became actors, because you experience different characters' lives. But then you leave it and you go home and you have a whole insight into them. Not only that, and this is, I want you to understand this, as Stella Adler used to say, it's what she called, it's biblical, meaning you're doing this character with the responsibility of every similar character that's been that present since the beginning of time. I remember her, she once mentioned an alcoholic. She goes, if you're playing an alcoholic, you have to do it with that responsibility, representing every alcoholic since the Bible. It's not about you, it's about the character. It's not about you showing off and saying, I can do this. We can spot that shit a mile away. It's about you owning the character. One other thing that works, right? I keep looking at the clock. These people wouldn't go home, right? One other thing, I can stay till 4 o'clock in the morning, folks, right? One day we will. One other thing that works also, and I want you to understand this. A lot of people have heard me talk about the animal exercise. And I hear it being taught and I literally want to throw up. I did that. You're not doing the animal exercise to pretend to be a freaking, monkey. You're doing it for character work. Please understand that. If you marry an animal to a character, once again, think of it as a quick filter. A quick filter is me around my family versus me around the work people versus me around my wife versus me. They're quick filters. They feed me. Different sides of me come out. An animal does the same thing. If you're doing, think of a little puppy dog that's always excited, and this is my character. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Yep. I'm going to watch TV now. Yep, there we are. That's a puppy dog. Puppy dog, puppy dog, puppy dog, puppy dog. I'm watching TV now, right? As opposed to a snake, I've done, and by done, I mean 6 to 9 months of this shit. I've done snake, don't do it. There's a lot of fucking lying on the floor. I've done gorilla. I've done monkey, which I enjoyed. I've done ant. The worst one I did, actually rat. You know what I'm saying? You just do these characters to find them. They talk about De Niro doing the crab in Taxi Driver, Brando doing the gorilla in The Wild One. You actually see it in one take. I'll try and find it, right? So now if I come in thinking gorilla, and I don't pick it just to the top of my hat, does that energy, do those ingredients feed my character? At the beginning, what you do, and we'll do this 2 classes from now. We'll do the animal exercise, right? You walk around like the gorilla. Remember we talked about Henry VIII last week? You overdo it at the beginning, overdo whatever you know. I went to LA once and I was at the library and I went there at like a Sunday morning, whatever it was, and there was a shitload of actors waiting for the zoo to open. I said, why are you here? Oh, I'm here to study an animal. Now you don't actually have to go to the library. You can see it online, but walk around as the gorilla. Walk around as the gorilla, walk around as the gorilla, find your character. Because a gorilla sits like this. It brings different sides of you out. It brings different sides of you out, as opposed to doing a snake slithering. Smooth. You would come in walking differently, not show and tell, a snake or a cat, whatever you like. The first skill to that is to master the animal. And then to find certain ingredients. Even if you do the stance, which helps, remember we talked a few weeks ago about the Elvis factor, even if you do the stance and then marry it to your ingredients as Peter, and to your ingredients that you're borrowing from someone else that you know well. Character work. Dustin Hoffman talks about it when he did Midnight Cowboy. He found that guy, Ratso Rizzo, on the streets. Not in his living room. Out on the streets. I want you to get on the streets, find your character. I want you to get out there and find the animal in your character. And I want you to find your ingredients. Not psychologically, it's not therapy. Just what brings them out. And when you do this, which takes a lot of time, I want you then to marry it to the script. Read the script as your character now and watch what different things stick. Read your script with the actions that are in the script or your actions and watch how you sit differently based on the character. Because some characters sit like this. Which one is your job? And in a nutshell, that's character work. And even if you just start by understanding what they mean by playing yourself, you're never going to play your same self every single role. Because then what you're doing is just playing yourself. We want you to know what aspects of yourself. Here's the general rule. Find the aspects of yourself that work for the character. Take the aspects of yourself from other people that you know or need to find and marry them to the ingredients of you, and then wrap it all up in an animal by doing the animal first, layering it with all that, and very, very last, folks, comes the words. Character work, the most underused tool in our acting industry. And because, unfortunately, we have an industry here that, not just here, across the world, that's cookie cutter, and they don't have much time, they don't give you time to develop it. That's why I said at the very, very beginning, remember we started this lovely course. I don't have my book here. I should have it. I said to you guys all, I want you to find a character that is from a historic time and place, not you, not some, saying. And I said, I want you to marry it and play and dedicate your life to them. Go do Henry VIII. Go do Peter the Terrible, whatever, Ivan the Terrible. Find a historic character over 100 years, because that forces you to work with different clothing and different habits, and you will find that certain aspects of you come out. And if you spend years on these characters, the palette is already there. You've already explored these colors. So when you get an audition tomorrow, it's easier to cherry pick because you spent years on them. And here they are. You don't have an audition tomorrow and go, shit, I got to go find it. And guess what it will look like? You haven't fermented it. It's unfermented work, which brings you back to where we started from. It's not enough to know the information as an actor. You have to master it. And mastering takes discipline, time, work, effort, years. No one can give you that. Only you. So, I don't know, and I don't know how we can, does we have anything we have to see? Send a note, a text message or something, if you've got a show reel or something to see. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes to do that. Okay? I think we had Stella says, I don't know if you're here, send me a note or whatever. Tell someone to do it so we can see it. Let me see something really quickly. I'm not sure how this shit works, and I'd love to figure it out, but I won't. If we don't have anything to see, all right, because I do want to start seeing people's work. And we're going to wrap up soon because these poor people have to go home. I want you all, let me say something really quickly before anyone starts texting me. Wait, yep. I want you all now to do one thing. A lot of what we do, some of the aspects of our work, if you can think of our aspects of our work as teachers, acting teachers, is a big part of it is getting you the information. Here's the information. Another big part of it is mastering the information. That's a big part, and that takes time, right? That's a big responsibility. The other section of ours as acting teachers, and I'm an acting teacher, not a coach, just to be clear about this. Here's the difference. As I've said in the past, Lee Strasberg was an acting teacher. Stella Adler was an acting teacher. Meisner was an acting teacher. I'm an acting teacher. By what I mean by that is we build acting muscle. An acting coach, you can meet an acting coach and work with them for a weekend. They take the existing acting muscle and they go right, go left. But they don't necessarily build muscle. They don't have that connection. I build acting muscle. That's what I do. You got me? Stella Brando spent 3 years with her, right? It didn't happen on a weekend workshop. I can coach someone, but it helps if I know them. It helps if we understand each other. There's less talk. So you need to have that discipline on your own. Realize these exercises, all that we've done in the past 12 weeks, and I'd love to find them. I'm sure someone in that room has them, right? And put them all together. All these skills are this aspect of our work. I've shown you many skills, and I'll keep showing you skills. I'll help you master them. Another part of our work is to tell you to get your ass out there. Get out there whether you're ready or not. Guess what? You're not going to turn up to a Martin Scorsese audition and they're going to give you the lead. That ain't going to happen. But if you want that to happen, start with where you're at. Get a short film. Be in it. Have 1 line. Have 10 lines. Do the best friend of the lead. Eventually get to the lead. That's your job. So part of us as teachers is to push your ass out there and get to work. And there is another part, which I do with a lot of caution. And I do with a lot of caution because remember, this is, we're actors. We're sensitive. We're human beings. And every now and then we need to be embraced and to say, hey, man, you are doing okay. We don't hear that enough. So we're going to change from Thursday nights. I don't know when. I've got a lot of talking and negotiating to do with people. They got lives and schedules. I do. I have a schedule. I don't know what I have, right? But I'm aiming towards Saturday because I finished class at 2. I could do it Saturday from 2 to 4 or something. That's my first gut feeling because I teach evenings. Anyway, we're in this together. And what a shitty song. What I want you to understand, we're all in this industry together. And I want you to imagine that we're all holding hands right now, because every now and then we need to take the artist in us, which is very scared, very sensitive. And as actors, remember what I told you. When they reject your work, you feel like they're rejecting you. And it's direct. It hurts. When they reject your book, it's your book. There's a slight disconnection. We are in the line of fire. So every now and then, and please understand, you will not survive if you don't do this. As I've said in the past, I can brag, I've been in a lot of, let's call them famous people's houses. They actually have Post-its on their fridge saying, I can do this. If they can do it, and they got Academy Awards and millions of dollars, you don't. You need bigger signs. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. And I'm a hard ass. I don't want you to believe in yourself without showing yourself that you can do it, without skill. Because it's no good as an actor to wake up, I believe in myself, I believe in myself. You can believe in yourself all day long. If you don't have the skill behind it, good luck to you. But every now and then, you need to stop and you need to say, I can do this. I have a skill. I have a skill. I'm not going in blind. I have the will. No one's forcing you to do this. I have the discipline. I have the knowledge. I have the love. I have the passion. I have 4 legs and 4 arms. I'm physically able to, even if you're not, still do it. And I want you to hold one person accountable, you. If you take anything away from this, you are accountable for your own career. It's not out there. It's not the industry. It's not that director. It's not that person. It's not that person. It's this person. If this person doesn't work at 100%, no one else will. It starts with you. And I've seen this. When you get on a film set and people see that you're giving it your all, they change gears too. Out of respect comes them going, this person's giving it their all. And automatically you've changed the culture on a film set. And all you can do as an actor, and by the way, if you're a director, you make sure that happens on a film set. If they see you fucking around, then everyone's going, fuck this, I'm going to fuck around too. I want you to be a professional, and I want you to give your heart and soul on this. Every single time, not when you feel like it. And that takes discipline. So start holding yourself accountable when you're not working at your best. Start kicking your own ass in. Start having schedules, start having a discipline, and it's long-term growth. So remember, you need the skill, you need the mastery of the knowledge. That's the knowledge. That's the mastery of it, which happens by repetition. That's how you master something over and over again till you master it. You need to get it all out there and face the world, find work, create work, right? And you also need, in this section, time to heal, recharge your batteries, repump yourself up, because you're going to face so much rejection, and it will beat you down. You need to learn how to boost your own engine up again and go, yes, I can do this, because you can. There's no magic bullet. It's called hard work. So I'm going to leave you very soon. I have no clue where we go from here. I'm going to talk to a bunch of people. I'll try and have an answer for you in the next few days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever. If I start teaching, it'll be before Monday night, because I've got to start teaching Monday night, and then my brain is somewhere else, right? Please keep writing. I haven't followed up on your writing. What I will do, the next 2 or 3 sessions, I'm going to call 10 names out. Send me an email saying, I want to give you 2 minutes to tell me your story. And we'll do 10 people and say, yes, no, try this, all right? I've enjoyed this. I want to keep going, okay? Don't give up. Don't stop. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. But the one person that's going to stop you is you. And don't let yourself down. Thank you. It's been great. Send me some ideas as to when you can do it, what you can do, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Oh, the podcast. Thank you. I never knew I could read your notes. Right. I have a podcast. It is called, what's it called? I'm getting to it. Inside the Lab with Peter Kalos. Right now, if you can, let's do this. Because a lot of what I share here is also on the podcast. And as I've said in the past, let's find this thing. If you Google, I don't know if you can, I don't know if you're going to lose me, I don't know if you can do this at the same time. I have no clue how all this shit works. All right. Inside, someone just did something. Wait there. And I want you all to go right now. I'm typing it. Look how good I am. If you have it already, great. If you haven't done it, and I'll try and show you this on the screen. And, okay, you can see this, yes? There we go. Great, that's horrible. Anyway, one of them, the first one, is about, and I think I've mentioned this, but let's make sure we talk about it. The very, very first one talks about the history of acting teachers, way from ancient Greece and so forth, up until the Russian Moscow Art Theater. The second one, all right, talks from America. When the Russians go into America, it talks about Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, Meisner, and all these amazing people. I want you to hear and understand where they all came from. The third one starts from, what's the third one about? Third one talks about all the film people that, what happens on a film set. So what they do, the cameraman, so you know your place in it. The fourth one talks about, God, I got a great memory. The fourth one talks about breaking down the script. The next one, which I'm filming next week, talks about character work, a lot of what I've talked about today. And then the one after that talks about, we're going to have my lovely guest. We're going to talk about the business, taxes, money, acting, all that stuff. Okay? So we're going to do all that stuff very, very in the next few weeks. So go find the podcast. I'd love it if you at least saw the first two before we meet up again, so you have understanding. So when I say certain terms, you have an understanding of where it came from. You got me? Okay? So I think I'm not sure, I can't read all the notes now. I don't see what's popping up there. I can't even fucking open the TV here. Anyway, folks, I'll let you go. I do want to email me. So if we have stuff to talk about, I want to talk about your scripts. And always we need to check your show reels and films. We need to keep addressing that so you get work out there. Fair enough? Talk soon. Somehow someone will email you all and we'll meet again. Most likely next Saturday, I'm guessing. Could be Friday or Saturday, I don't know which one. Okay? Take care. I've enjoyed this, and it's we need to keep working. Okay, folks? Take care. Bye. Ba-dum-bum.